Hello, what is up, friends? My name is Kay, and welcome back to the Survivor 43 finale recap. Yes, indeed, after 12 long, grueling weeks of alliances, backstabs, blindsides, you name it, we are finally here. We have finally made it to the end, and a new winner has been crowned. I'm super duper excited to recap this finale with you all, but before we begin, make sure you hit the subscribe button below so you can stay tuned. Even though Survivor is technically over, I still cover other competition shows from time to time, so a subscription would mean a lot. Now, let us get started. So we kick off this finale episode with the final 5 players left standing. Pretty much immediately, we're going to head to the final 5 immunity challenge, which is a combination of balance and speed. This first competition looked absolutely brutal to do, and I could not imagine doing this while starving at all. But in the end, as we see, it is Owen who emerges victorious and is now safe. This was his 3rd immunity win, which I thought was super cute for him, especially since Owen has been an underdog pretty much the entire game. When the players all return back to camp, the strategizing is going strong. It seems as though pretty much everybody wants to target Karla here, which kind of makes sense seeing as though she's been like the main target for a few weeks now. Karla is not going to go down without a fight though. She really wants to go after Jesse here, which honestly makes total sense from her perspective, except for the fact that Jesse has an idol, so this is kind of a waste of time. Things are going to get even worse for Karla after she gets into it with her ex-BFF on the island, Cassidy. Things had been really tense between these two ladies for a while now, but it seemed to finally really boil over once Karla started threatening jury votes against Cassidy. Yeah, not really the smartest tactic from Karla here. Like I said, these two ladies have been beefing for a while, and we are about to see who is going to come out on top. This group is then going to head off to Tribal Council, where things are going to get pretty intense. First, we have Jesse just whipping his idol out, and then we have Karla just continue to be messy since her back is up against the wall. All of this tension in the air is eventually going to escalate to our first live tribal of the season. Yay! Ooh, I just love mess.
I'm so excited because I love mess.
I know a lot of people in the fandom out there don't love the live tribals, but I personally enjoy the drama that it brings to an otherwise pretty boring segment. During this live tribal, Karla is just throwing everything she can at the wall. She is trying to get literally anybody but her voted out here, and I can't blame her at all, okay? While this is very fun to watch, of course, all of her attempts are futile. When the votes are read, we see that Chaos Karla is indeed the one that is voted out. I'm not really surprised that Karla was the one to leave here. Her game seemed to really be tanking for a while now, and she had been a pretty big target in the game for mostly everybody. Still, I thought she was just a fabulous character, and I loved watching her play, especially during the first half. With Karla gone, we are now down to the final 4 in the game, who are now going to go off to compete in the immunity challenge. This is yet another challenge about balance and speed, and in the end, it pretty much just comes down to Cassidy and Owen. But in the end, it is Cassidy who emerges victorious once again, securing her 3rd individual immunity of the season. That's pretty impressive. I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I had very little faith in Cassidy at the beginning of this game. I thought that her tribe was just going to pick her apart pretty much immediately, but hey, I can admit that I was wrong. With this win in tow, Cassidy now has a very, very important decision to make. Who will be battling against each other in the final fire-making comp? Obviously, Jesse's mastermind ass is going in. That's pretty much guaranteed, no questions asked. Jesse is the front runner in this game, so pretty much everybody wants to take this guy out immediately. The only question is, who is the best person to go up against Jesse? Owen is super fired up and actually wants to compete against Jesse. Owen really feels like he needs a big move on his resume, and taking out the mastermind here would be the absolute perfect move. As risky as it is, I don't blame Owen here at all, and I can totally understand where he was coming from. On the other hand, though, Gabler is having the exact same dilemma. He also wants to be the one to take out Jesse and put that big move on his resume. I promise y'all, I have never seen two people want to be in danger in this game so damn bad. But I get it, like it really does make sense for both of them. They've both been playing very, very under the radar games, and securing a big move like this may be just what they need to win it all in the end. So with all of this uncertainty in the air, it is now time for this group to head into final fire making, where it is eventually revealed that Jesse and Gabler will be the ones to compete head to head. This competition begins and it ends pretty much immediately after, as we see that Gabler is not only going to win this final fire making competition, oh no, he's going to smash the record like in Survivor history, which is pretty damn incredible, not gonna lie. As much as this was a huge game-changing move for Gabler, it was also the final nail in the coffin for Jesse and his game. We get this really sentimental moment as we see Jesse lament his game. Jesse was the obvious brain of the season, right? So it really sucks to see him go, especially since he had been such a huge front runner for damn near the whole season. And he left in the controversial final fire making comp too. See, I just know the fandom is going to be pissed at this one. And with that, we finally have our final three. This final three was unexpected to say the least, but honestly, I really didn't think there were any front runners here, and I thought everybody had a pretty decent shot to win. Final tribal council begins, where we see pretty much everyone do a decent job of speaking for their games. They all seem to be able to name specific moves and alliances that helped get them to the end. Gabler talked about all of the bonds he formed on the island and how he played a low-key game on purpose. His name also never got written down the whole season, which is pretty impressive. Owen talked a lot about his underdog status and how he had to play the game from the bottom. He also spoke to his very impressive 3 immunity wins, which I thought was a very smart thing to do. Cassidy also talked a lot about how she had to play from the bottom pretty much the entire game and stay under the radar. She did get a little bit of pushback during her answers, but I thought she was able to recover from that decently well. I mean, overall, I really did think that everybody did a pretty thorough job, but of course, there can only be one winner. I'll be honest here and say that at this point, I really thought that Cassidy was going to be the one to bring this win home. I mean, I just felt like she had been highlighted so much during these past few episodes, and her game seemed to be on nothing but an upward trajectory. But when the votes are read, as we see, it is actually Gabler who secures the win, almost unanimously at that. Holy crap, like holy crap. I was not expecting that one, okay? It just seemed like pretty much his entire gameplay during the last few weeks was just, I'm hiding in plain sight. I'm hiding in plain sight. Like that was really the only thing that the edit showed him saying. Like who would have thought that would be enough to actually freaking win? I guess Gabler. Now, a lot of y'all in the fandom are pissed to see a Gabler win, and I get it. I do. I mean, he didn't make too many big moves, and he wasn't the brightest personality out there, but I think those things are the reasons why he was able to win in the first place. Hear me out. No big moves means that he was never a threat, which means that he was never targeted in the first place, which is why his name was never even written down. No big personality or characteristics, which means he never stood out, which means he was able to hide in plain sight, which means his name was never written down. I mean, in total, the guy is just average, right? Just as average can be, but I guess sometimes in the game of Survivor, average can work, okay? It may not be exciting to watch from a TV viewer's perspective, but it is still valid. Gabler's win is still valid, and so is the way he played the game, even though it was a little bit boring. And you know what? As a fan, I actually kind of appreciated being blindsided myself, just a little bit. So of course, I'm interested to know, what did you all think of this finale, and what did you think of the season as a whole? Are you super happy to see Gabler as our winner, Or do you think it should have been someone else instead? Let me know in the comments below. I honestly thought this season as a whole was pretty mid. It definitely got boring at some parts toward the middle, but like I said at the end, I actually appreciated being blindsided by the winner. Thank you all so much for tuning in with me this season. I had an absolute blast coming on here and recapping the episodes with you all every week. I cover other competition shows sometimes too, so make sure you're subscribed just so you can stay tuned. I will talk to you all later, but until next time, peace.